All right, let's talk about what it really takes to become a commercial pilot in India. We're going to break down the entire journey step by step, from that initial dream all the way to the cockpit. So, let's get into it. I mean, it's a pretty incredible thought, right? Trading in a desk for a cockpit, swapping traffic jams for endless cloudscapes. But how do you actually turn that amazing vision into a real professional career? Well, it all starts with one very important qualification. And this is it, the Commercial Pilot License, or CPL. Now, the most important thing to understand is that this isn't a university degree. It's a professional, skill-based license issued by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, the DGCA. This is your official ticket to get paid to fly. You know, before any plane takes off, the pilot runs a pre-flight checklist. It's the same for your career. So before you even start dreaming about flight school, let's run through the absolute must-haves to see if you're eligible for this journey. It pretty much boils down to three key areas. First, your academics. You have to have completed your 10+2 with physics and math. That's a non-negotiable. Second, language. English is the global language of aviation, so being proficient is an absolute must. And third, your health. You'll need to pass a Class 2 medical just to begin training, and then a much stricter Class 1 medical before the DGCA will issue your final license. Okay, so you've ticked all the eligibility boxes. Now for the main event, flight school. This is where the real work begins, and it's this amazing mix of intense book learning and actual hands-on flying.
Your training is basically split into two big parts, and they're totally connected. On one side, you have ground school. That's all the theory, the why behind everything. On the other side, you have practical flying, where you take all that knowledge and actually use it in simulators and real airplanes. You can't have one without the other.
And when we say ground school, we mean it. You'll be diving deep into subjects like air navigation, meteorology, which is the science of weather, and all the complex air regulations. You'll also learn the nitty-gritty technical details of the aircraft. It's about knowing so much more than just how to fly. It's about understanding the entire aviation world. Now for the fun part, the practical flying. You're required to log at least 200 hours of flying time. And this isn't just joyriding. This includes incredibly important skills like flying completely on your own, navigating long cross-country routes, and mastering instrument flying for when you can't see the ground. It's a huge commitment.
And this is absolutely vital, so listen up. All of this training has to be done at a flight school that's officially approved by the DGCA. You can't just go and learn anywhere. We're talking about established places like IGRUA or private academies like Chimes that meet very strict government standards.
Okay, let's talk about the big question, the money. It's so important to see this not just as a cost, but as a serious investment in a very high skill and potentially high reward career. So what does it actually take to earn those wings? In India, you're looking at a total investment of somewhere between 42 to 55 lakh rupees. But what's really interesting is where that money goes. As you can see, the vast majority of it, about 75%, goes directly into the flying itself. The fuel, the aircraft, the instructor's time. And this slide really paints a clear picture of why a lot of aspiring pilots choose to train in India. Just look at the comparison. Training in places like the USA or Canada is significantly more expensive. The only thing to remember is, if you do train abroad, you have to go through a conversion process to make your license valid here in India.
Okay, so you've put in the time, the effort, and the money. You've finally earned your CPL. What happens next? Let's look at the career paths and what you can really expect once you've landed that license.
The financial return can be really significant. As a first officer or co-pilot, you can expect to start somewhere in the range of 1.5 to 3.5 lakh rupees a month. But with experience, once you move up to the captain's seat, that number can climb to 6 to 10 lakh rupees a month, and sometimes even higher. And your career doesn't have to be just with the big passenger airlines. A CPL opens up all kinds of doors. You could end up flying for cargo companies, piloting private charters, operating business jets for corporations, or even becoming a flight instructor and training the next generation of pilots. Now, we have to pause here for a serious reality check. This quote really says it all. There is no guaranteed job after CPL. Pilot hiring goes in cycles. It really depends on the health of the economy and if airlines are growing. It's a very competitive field. So, how do you play it smart? The key is to follow a safe and logical path. First, get your medicals done early on, just to make sure you're fit to fly. Second,
only choose a DGCA-approved school. And this is a big one. Avoid paying for a type rating, that's training for a specific plane, like an A320, out of your own pocket, unless you already have a job offer from an airline that requires it.
And all of this leads us to maybe the most important question you can ask yourself. Is this really the right career for you? It takes more than just a dream. It demands a genuine passion for aviation, top-notch physical and mental fitness, solid financial planning, and the personal flexibility to handle things like weird schedules and moving to new cities. So, we've laid out the entire flight plan, from the first eligibility checks and the tough training to the big investment and the realities of the career. The only question left is the one you see right here. Are you ready for takeoff?